When Narcissus died, the pool of his pleasure changed from a cup of sweet waters into a cup of salt tears. And the Oreads came weeping through the woodland that they might sing to the pool and give it comfort. Because the incredible thing about death is the ceasing of your own brand of magic.
I've got a confession to make. I think I talk too much, but it's not because I'm clueless or arrogant. It's because your ears, they look thirsty.
A machine harnesses energy to perform an activity. Well, my activity is dance. I am a dance machine. I am the greatest dancer that history's ever seen. My feet take to birth, my thighs mighty oaks, my neck is a metronome. Swiss train stations set their clocks to the bobbing of my head. You have 2 left feet. I have 8 left feet. And 8 right feet, because I am 8 times the dancer. And 2 times the spider. And when they saw that the pool had changed from a cup of sweet waters into a cup of salt tears, they loosened the green tresses of their hair and cried to the pool and said, "We do not wonder that you should mourn in such a manner for Narcissus. So beautiful was he." But the pool replied, "Was Narcissus beautiful?" Greek mythology tells us the story of a young man named Narcissus, who was so entranced by his own beauty that he died staring at his reflection in a pool of water. From this story, we get the term for narcissistic personality disorder, a condition most often associated with arrogance and egotism, but one that just as often has its roots in a fragile self-image and even depression. To the poems Dance Machine by George Watsky, I Have No Insecurities, No Really by Lucas Newman, Conceit by D.H. Lawrence, Perfection Wasted by John Updike, and The Disciple by Oscar Wilde, we can take our own look into the pool of Narcissus. Gawking at the Mirror, a poetry program. A passable pale dancer is said to dance like a black man trapped in a white man's body. Well, Chris Brown is said to dance like a black man with me trapped in his body. James Brown is a chump. I am the laziest man in show business because my dancing is effortless. You want to see me dance? You couldn't handle that. Your brain would swell with unprocessed information and ooze out your ears because I killed John F. Kennedy with a straight elbow. I once popped lock so hard that I popped out my shoulder, popped it back in, popped it back out, and hopped over my arm like a jump rope. Yeah. I got a confession to make. I pop my white heads in the mirror constantly. But it's not because I'm insecure about my looks. It's because I envision a girl, the embodiment of my wildest dreams, whose every quality and attribute are precisely the qualities and attributes that I would pick for her to have. A girl who is truly and utterly perfect. Except for this one minor flaw where she categorically refuses to date guys who don't pop their white heads. I disagree with this specific aspect of her. It's a little immature. But on the whole, she's worth it. So I don't want to remove myself from the list of potentials by being stubborn about her one pet peeve. It's not because I'm insecure about my looks. Was Narcissus beautiful? Who should know better than you? Answered the Oreads. Us did he ever pass by, but you. He sought for you, and he would lie on your banks, and in the mirror of your waters, he would mirror his own beauty. I am a $100 bill in a grab-all-you-can carnival booth. I am a dead lemur batting about in an avalanche. I relax and give in to nature's fury. I lie, buried in my own excellence. I once won Dancing with the Stars, true story, by bending the littlest joint in my pinky finger twice. When I bent it the third time, Kate Gosling was re-impregnated. Mount Vesuvius erupted, and Chuck Norris publicly questioned his sexuality.
I've got a confession to make. I'm not always on task when I should be, but it's not because I'm lazy or unmotivated. It's because the regular geometric pattern of tiles in this floor keeps flashing me images of myself as a movie star, or as an astronaut, or as a ninja, or as a member of the Beatles, which is like really distracting. And I'm not trying to complain here. I'm just saying that it's really tough to do math homework when the kitchen floor keeps showing alternative options for what you could be doing with your time. It's not because I'm arrogant.
And the pool answered, "But I loved Narcissus, because as he looked down at me and lay on my banks, in the mirror of his eyes I saw ever my own beauty mirrored." But was Narcissus beautiful? All right, guys, full disclosure, in my last session, my therapist told me that I might get over my fears of neuroses by claiming my weaknesses as strengths. And since my only weakness is my lack of weakness, I ripped off my clothes and blacked out. Or I repressed the rest. But I imagined that I had my way with Dr. Lictor on the leather couch before putting on an old Chuck Berry record and whipping wildly around the room like an angry dreidel. Because that's how therapy works. But was Narcissus beautiful? I've got a confession to make. I tell lies all the time. And when I say all the time, I mean all the time. Like every time I look at someone, or every time I talk to someone, or every time I flirt with a girl, or even when I tell a relative that I love them. I'm lying to them too. Trying desperately to convince them that deep down, beneath this confident exterior, is an equally confident interior. And I don't do this because I'm evil or dishonest by nature. I do it because I often feel like this little kid who has no other weapon against the imposition of your judgment. And I'm scared. I'm scared that if I were to let my guard down for more than a week, you'd probably kill me. But was Narcissus beautiful? Because it is conceit that kills us. It is conceit that makes us cowards instead of gods. Under the great command, know thyself, and that thou art mortal. We have become fatally self-conscious, fatally self-important, fatally entangled in the cocoon coils of our own conceit. And now we have to admit that we can't know ourselves. We can only know about ourselves. And I do not wish to know about myself anymore. I only entangle myself in the knowing. Now let me be myself. Now let me be myself and flicker forth. Now let me be myself in being one of the gods. Because the regrettable thing about death is the ceasing of your own brand of magic, which took a whole life to develop. The quips, the witticisms, the slant adjusted to a few. Those nearest the lip of the stage, their soft faces blanched in the footlight glow. Their laughter close to tears, their tears confused with their diamond earrings, their warm pulled breath in and out with your heartbeat. Their response is your performance twinned. The jokes over the phone, the memories packed in the rapid access file, the whole act. But we'll do it again. I've got a confession to make, and I know that this writing device is getting a little repetitive by now. It is true that I talk too much. And no, it's not because your ears look thirsty. It's because occasionally I can be clueless and self-absorbed. It is a socially undesirable trait that I am trying my very best to lose. And yes,
This is a genuine insecurity of mine. But most of the time, I just feel happy. Thrilled, honestly, to have quenched your wild desire for my voice.